So 2023 is a very big year for me, and I would consider myself one pretty ambitious person. And because of that, I obviously have my list of goals that I'm going to achieve by the end of this year. And frankly, some of these scare me just a little bit, but I'm putting these out here for two reasons. Firstly, to hold myself accountable, and secondly, because I know for those of you who have been following me, you are probably interested in this. So this first goal is definitely the main one that I'm focusing on the most this year. It's definitely the biggest goal I've probably ever had in my life. So we're going to talk about this one first and then move on to all of the other ones that kind of surround this big goal. So this first goal that I'm talking about is to reach 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Now, for those of you who have never started a YouTube channel before, that is no easy task. It takes a lot of time and dedication, and really the biggest thing is learning how the algorithms work, what performs well and what doesn't, but also just finding what kind of content you enjoy making. I love making videos like this for you guys to watch, but I also enjoy making finance, business type videos. And on top of that, I love to make videos that I'm passionate about, right? I love to make videos that can bring awareness to somebody that they didn't have before about the world around them. Anyway though, as I was saying, once I have a bit of a bigger audience on my channel, I can then start to automate different things in the process of making videos. I can hire somebody to make thumbnails for me, stuff like that, and then that makes the videos perform better, and then it just keeps snowballing. And of course, on top of that, if you've been watching the news at all recently, you've probably heard of ChatGPT coming out.
ChatGPT.
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 So hopefully with AI getting more advanced over time, I can use that to my advantage to make the process of making videos even easier. Overall though, as I said before, YouTube is definitely my biggest goal for this year. I'm probably going to spend more time working on it than anything else in comparison really, and in a year from now when you're watching this, you will most certainly see the results. Now, the second goal that I have is definitely a bit of a smaller one, but it's pretty much just to have a certain amount of money secured to go and buy a car. Now, for you, buying a car might not be that big of a deal depending on where you live, who your parents are, whatever. But for me, as somebody who is still a teenager, I'm going to buy a car in cold, hard cash, which I can say 90% of the time teenagers don't do. I talk to a lot of people my age, and the majority of them, they go and buy some $20,000 Honda Civic, which sure is a great car, but then you have to worry about interest payments. And then on top of that, you're going to wreck the car because it's your first car. Everybody does something stupid to their first car. You get into a crash, you back up into somebody's car, you slide on ice and crash into the side rails. The stories are countless. Ask anybody about it. So just buy a decent car in cash. It's your first car. It doesn't have to be a whole Lambo or anything like that. But as I was saying, having that certain amount of money secured for a car is certainly a goal that I have for this year. Now, this next goal, I'm basically just going to throw out there, and it's literally just to buy a new camera. Specifically, I'm looking at a couple different Canon cameras that I'm interested, but for those of you who do not know, cameras are quite expensive. I mean, the type of cameras that I am looking at to buy are close to $1,000, if not more. And that's just not an easy amount of money to throw at any one thing. So it's obviously not something I'm only going to use, once a month or something like that. And because of that, I also view it as sort of an investment because as a return, it's going to make my content much, much better and will yield me returns. But I also view it as an investment because in return, it's going to make me much more skilled with photography and videography. And because of that, it's really an investment and a goal at the same time for me. Obviously with this camera too, I'm going to buy a camera that at bare minimum is going to last me 5 to 10 years, if not more. Now, you could go and say, well, instead of buying a camera, go and buy one of the new iPhones. They have great cameras and whatever. And sure, I could do that, but for me, it just makes more sense to buy an actual camera. I don't have to then worry about airdropping or iCloud storage or any of that. It's just record, take the SD card out, punch it in the computer, and bam, we're ready to edit the video. And of course, that's what's going to work for me. It may not for you. Everybody is different. But at the end of the day, as I was saying, getting a camera is a very big goal for me this year. Now, this next goal is completely different because this one has to do with investing. Because if you don't know, I'm a very big investor. And this goal is to have 10 to 20% of my total net worth invested at bare minimum. And obviously, if you've invested before, you know this isn't as simple as it sounds because you have to find the right opportunities. Now, sure, you could go and throw it in the S&P 500, let it sit there, but that's not the only thing that I'm talking about because you also have the education aspect of it as an investment that will then have you acquiring more skills, which in theory will have you getting paid more. And yes, of course, I'm also talking about crypto and the stock market, whatever, but with all of them, it's not just as simple as putting your money in something and then you're done. It's a bit more complicated than that. You have to monitor your investments and everything, and it can take up quite a bit of time. But like I said before, my goal by the end of this year is to have upwards of 20% of my total net worth invested in a variety of different things. And lastly, a very big goal that I have for this year is to have completely launched my business. And this is something that I can't elaborate too much on right now, so I'm going to keep it nice and short. But basically, by the end of this year, I would like to have my business completely launched, have it all up and running, everything all smoothened out, and basically so that I don't have to worry too much about it. Now, obviously, to get there, this will not be an easy task, and in the coming months, I will elaborate more to you guys about all of my plans for this, but for now, that's all I can say. Now, altogether, these make up my 5 goals for the year of 2023. Obviously, some are bigger than others, but they all are very important this year. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. I know I love making videos like this for you guys, and if you enjoyed this one, make sure to check out this video that I hand selected for you guys right here. And with that said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.